Isfahan's weather, the beauty of the art, the hot weather, and the hospitality of the people of Isfahan had attracted my Dutch friend. She said, had I known Isfahan was this beautiful, I would have visited earlier. This delectable weather, people's warmth, and all these must-see places cannot be found anywhere else in the world.
There's a saying in Iran, Isfahan nisfa jahan, which means Isfahan is half the world.
Which capital of the world can compete with Isfahan's beauty and art? After Sasanian, Shah Ismail Safavi brought his own sect to power. Since he had undisputed clout, he made Isfahan an independent and powerful city.
And the number 40 signifies abundance and multiplicity in Iranian literature.
Each one of these identical pillars that create this gorgeous ceiling was once bark of a tree that was skillfully cut and designed and made into a pillar. Here there are 20 pillars that double. Why do they double? Because their reflection can be seen in the pool.
Amazing, but
the best way to describe the art of Isfahan is to say it gives without envy. The art of Isfahan talks to one at every corner of the city.
inside the Jahalsatun Palace.
اینجا ضیافتی از تابلوهای نقاشیه.
This feast of paintings, the work of Reza Abbasi, is beautiful, unique, and unfound in the rest of the world. Painting of the Nader Shah, Afshar War, War of the Chaldoran, Sword of the Ghazal Wash, with Canon Osmani, and the War of the Shah Ismail Safavi, a complete spiritual man.
This is the reception scene of Nader Muhammad Khan.
Shah Abbas II celebrated Nader Khan, the king of Turkmenistan, who took refuge in the court so that he could regain control. The painting of the great Shah Abbas, who created and brought to power the sect of Safavi.
What I heard is that the addition of shops, buildings opposite here, is new. New, yes. This was all one big garden. Apparently later on they added the shops and held commerce.
Mosque of the Jame Isfahan, also known as the Mosque of the Jame Adib or Mosque of the Jame. This mosque is located at the west side of the Hatef Street and at the end of Bazar Bozorg, which is one of the oldest districts of the city. This mosque is one of the most grand buildings in Iran. Since different parts of the mosque have been built over time, the current building is akin to a great museum that depicts the completeness of the Iranian and the Islamic art. The building was first established by the Arab sect of Tehran in the year of 226 AH. When Iran was governed by Muhtasem Abbasi, this mosque was remodeled. Afterward, Abu Ali, the son of Rustam, expanded the size of the mosque. According to today's research, the mosque was first established in the 8th century at the time of Ali Bouye, meaning before Saljuqiyan, where pre-Islamic architectural can be seen. The current architectural design of the Mosque of Jame Isfahan has 22,000 square feet, 4 similar balconies, parallel corridors, entrances that are adorned. These all make a great and clerical collection. Sofra Darwish at the northern balcony, Sofra Sahib at the eastern balcony, Sofra Ostad at the western balcony, the winter threshold, the Safavi threshold, are all unique in their own right because of their build, art, and architecture. This mosque has 8 different entrances that have been built over time. The oldest entrance is located at the northeast of the mosque. The importance of this entrance is the scriptured story of the burning that took place in the year of 515 AH. Currently, the entrance of the mosque has stone-like stairs and adorned tiles. The front yard of the mosque is 60 meters in width and 70 meters in length. The mosque also has a few corridors and 2 fountains. The tiles used inside of the painting room belong to the 14th century, meaning 600 years ago. In addition to this, the design stones are also from this era. The Sofra Sahib balcony with the width and height of 12 meters is located at the southern side of the front yard of the mosque, which is attached to the Gombat Khane Nizamul Mulk. This minaret has the height of 35 meters. Parts of the tile work was redone in the time of Safaviye and new techniques were used. Gombat Khane Nizamul Mulk was built by Khaja Nizamul Mulk, who was the famous prime minister of the Malik Shah Saljuqiyan. From what is understood of the scriptures, Khaja Nizamul Mulk concocted the design. However, Abul Fateh Muhammad Kazem has been credited with the execution of it. Khaja Nizamul Mulk, the intelligent minister of Saljuqi, held office for nearly 30 years. The entire matters of the country were resolved by his thoughtfulness. He was an expert, a spiritual, and a humane being. He built mosques and schools in the most Islamic cities. Tus, Herat, Nishabur were extremely proud of their military schools, yet Baghdad was the proudest of them all. Domes of the mosques are located at the southern sides that were made during the 9th century. The mosque's dome illustrates many architectural designs of the Saljuqis' time. Its design and build were done during the Malik Shah Saljuqi. There are scriptures written by Kamaluddin Husseini Hafiz Herawi with Solse Safid Mu'arriq handwriting which talks of the people who built it.
که اولیا رتبت اسمت پناه و عفت شعار خوانده شد یاد شده است که به امید ثواب در تزیین بنا نقش مؤثر داشته است.
André Godard, a French architectural historian, no doubt that Mehrab was built during Qutb Ali Muzaffar's time by his orders. This mihrab was skillfully built with flower and exotic bird designs, and it is quite different in comparison with other mihrabs of its own time. Ilkhanan decorated it during the first half of the 8th century of AH. Its ceiling has an incomparable architectural design. Ali Muzaffar added school and Sofre Shamal later on. The winter threshold was made in the second half of the 9th century of AH by the order of Sultan Muhammad. The question that was asked by Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu about the Quran is written on the edge of the scriptures. The continuance of the scripture is the answer Prophet Muhammad sallallahu gave Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari, which has been written in 2 rows. On the northern side of the mosque, a mihrab and podium exist. The time in which the podium was built is unknown. However, the mihrab was built in the 1710 Hijri Qamari.
ابوالغنائم تاج الملک
Taj al-Malik Khosrow Firuz Razi was a man of knowledge who was the head of Jame Khan and was a rival of Khwaja Nizam al-Mulk.
انشای سلطانی را به عهده داشته است و یکی از رقبای خواجه نظام الملک به شمار می‌رفت.
The rivalry became such that Khwaja Nizam al-Mulk built the southern side dome. Taj al-Mulk built the northern dome, a little smaller but much more beautiful.
زیباتر از آن بنا کرد.
I, Isfahan, half of the world. So many things to say, so many tales we have. City of myth, myth of cities, history's magic. One can only figure out the beauty and the art of Iran by seeing Исфахан. It's best to see Исфахан rather than listening to descriptions or seeing pictures of it.
Although it's 100 faces, but it's not released from my eye. Zion Road and Karan Garden.
باغ کاران یاد
His Excellency Hafez, when had you come to Isfahan? It said that you were from Isfahan. Shirazi or Isfahani, you're Hafez and you're an Iranian person. Whether beside Ruknabad or the beach of Zayan Darud, when had you seen Zayan Darud? What flowers did you smell from Karan garden that you remembered them in this way? Had you seen other three gardens, Fasan garden, Ahmad Siyar garden, and Bekr garden? These were large gardens of Isfahan that were 1,000 acres. You don't come to Isfahan any longer. It's 700 years that you haven't come to Isfahan. Lisan al-Ghaib. The day that you saw Zayan Darud, that was as a bride worn azure clothes in Karan garden, and said an ode in the shadow of whipping willow. People of Isfahan didn't know how dear their guest was. Whenever they would ask you why 100 rivers were flowing in your dear eyes, you would say, undoubtedly, dark nights and fear from waves and such a retaining whirlpool. The disturbance of beaches don't know about our feelings. Today on the beach of Zayan Darud, vigilant people know you're feeling well.
شب شنبه ز کرمان بار کردم، چه بد کردم که پوش بر یار کردم. رسیدم بر لب جوی صفاهان، نشستم گریه بسیار کردم.
Which means Исфахан is half the world. And surely its beauty, charm and splendor have cast strange and marvelous spells.
کدوم پایتخت جهان رو میشناسید؟
Which capital do you know that has been attacked by many strangers
مهاجمان بیگانه قرار گرفته باشه
and has risen again as a phoenix that rises from its ashes?
دوباره بلند شده باشه؟ اصفهان
Isfahan never lost its scientific, artistic, cultural, economic, and governmental centrality.
خودش رو از دست نداد. قرن‌هاست که دیگر
It's a lot of centuries that there's no kingship throne in Isfahan. But this unique city keeps alive its eastern glory as an eastern city of 1,001 night myth in memory.
در خاطره ها زنده می‌دارد.
There are beautiful bridges in Isfahan. Yes, these bridges are signs of taste and mastership of Iranian architectures in past centuries. Let's go near to see them. Al-Lahbadi Khan Bridge connects the lower four gardens to Upper Four Gardens. From Jahannama Place to Allahabad Khan is called Lower Four Gardens, and from this bridge to Abbasabad Garden, which is 1,000 acres, Garden 2 is called Upper Four Gardens. Allahabad Khan Bridge, that is called Siyose Springs Bridge and Jolfa Bridge 2, has been built in 1011 by the order of Grand Shah Abbas and by his commander-in-chief Allahabad Khan, and in fact it had 40 springs. Siyose pole width is 360 meters and its length is 14 meters. Who can come to Isfahan and doesn't get amazed when he or she sees Siyose pole?
راستی کیه که به اصفهان بیاد و با دیدن 33 پل دچار شگفتی نشه؟ جالبه بدونید
It's interesting that you know this place was used as a place for ceremonies at the time of Safaviya. Nowadays it is important for the tourists who come to Isfahan to see this bridge.
دیدن این پل براشون خیلی اهمیت داره.
از غرب به شرق
If you go from west to east of Zion road, successive bridges, their beauty and architecture dazzle your eyes. From Lenjan, you reach to Zaman Khan Bridge, Kalde Bridge, Bagh Mahmud Bridge, Marnan Bridge, Siyose Pol, Chobi Bridge and Khaju Bridge that Professor Bu has found comfort near it.
Talking of bridges, Shahi Bridge.
Shahi Bridge that is famous as Khaju Bridge. This is the oldest bridge that has been built on Zayan route, and its architecture is different from other bridges. Its building, arcs, tiles are different with other bridges. Khaju Bridge that has built in a place with the same name was famous as Hassanabad Bridge too. This bridge destroyed completely in Afghan sedition. Its beauty is dazzling, and it's said that it's more well-seeming than Siyose Pol. This bridge has been ascribed to second Shah Abbas. Mirza Tahir Wahi, the analyst of the time of second Shah Abbas, has talked so much about it. Masrukhi book talks about it too. Rahili Khan Hidayat points to Khaju Bridge in Rozatul Safa in describing the condition of second Shah Abbas. This bridge has 24 springs and is in the border of Saadatabad Garden. If you can from west to east of Zayan road, Khaju is the 8th bridge. Shahrastan Bridge, which is near Khaju Bridge, is another beautiful bridge in Zayandarud, which is near a village with the same name. Its antiquity is ascribed to Sasanian, but historians don't judge clearly about the name of its builder and the day it finished. They only say it's too firm and has a lot of springs. Four Garden School or Sultani School that is called Mother Shah Abbas II is the most important and the most beautiful royal building in the time of Shah Sultan Hussein Safavi. And a stream called Fashadi stream had been flown at this school that had given an animating space to the mosque by watering the plane trees. Building the four garden schools started in 1116 and ended in 1118, and the teaching was entrusted to Master Allame Agha Mirza Mahmud Baqir in Zihaje. Shante, it's good that you know that this hotel, which has been built near the Four Garden School, had been the most famous caravanserai, and caravans which would come to Isfahan from different parts would stay here. Now you see it's changed to one of the most beautiful hotels in the world by protecting the identity of architecture relics. It's called Abbasi Hotel today for honoring the name of Shah Abbas that built a lot of caravanserai in all the roads with the same architecture. We saw Isfahan how much it was possible. It seems that we enter a new world when we enter each quarter. Each has its own effective force. Each quarter speaks with its language. This wonderful architecture is called Hasht Behesht, a person's dream from the future life. Around this place, there are 4 balconies, and from each balcony, Hasht Behesht Palace is open to a salon. 4 entrances in the first floor and 4 entrances in the second floor. There are 8 entrances on the whole. Only Hashbehesh has continued its living from all the places that were around the 4 gardens in the past. This palace with 2 flowers and many rooms and wonderful arcs is a picture from a part of paradise. The art that has been used here is out of a person's creative power. Here is Исфахан Coppersmith Market, one of the oldest traditional markets that is unparalleled for purpose of architecture. Don't doubt. Исфаhan Market is one of the liveliest markets of the Middle East, and here is a part of this large market. It's called Qaysariye Market 2 and connects Nakhchivan Square to all parts of Исфахан. Andre Godard has compared Исфаhan Market with the architecture that Arabs have made in Spain.
It would be hard to dispute the claim that Iran produces the most elaborate and decorative carpets in the world.
If we want to talk about carpet, we must remember Iran carpet as an artistic feat. This art has been exported to all the world since the past. Iran carpet is the identity of Iranian people. Everywhere that you go in Iran, there are some carpets at homes which dazzle the eyes. How is it possible that all of these have gathered in one place? Silver making, copper making, cloth weaving, cashmere weaving, inlaying, and finally carpet that its choice is difficult for the eye, because all are beautiful. Fortunately, Saman is here to explain it for us. Well, Исфахан carpet has a worldwide fame because of its color and design. You know that we inspire from mosques, domes, for designing carpets. We have a center in this carpet that everything turns around the center. What's the philosophy of this designing? That's the world center. It's always the symbol of a unity. God is the manifestation of the existent, and these designs that you see have been inspired from the dome of Sheikh Lutfullah Mosque. And these are lifelines that will be inclined to the main center and will go back there. But in these margins, different people of life have been drawn. And then we reach the border of margin. What's the role of flowers which have been spread all over the carpet? This is the border that we go back to eternal world after passing it. Of course, that place is affected by the center. Deployment of these flowers in the carpet shows different stages of people's life from birth, youth and old age till returning to the eternal world. Would you mind to drink a cup of tea? I'd love to drink tea, of course with gas and pulaki. Isfahan gas is too famous. What can you find in Isfahan that isn't famous? In this lively market, you can find everything. Oh, Isfahan. Isfahan, half of the world. I have a lot of words. You have a lot of stories. City of myths. Myth of the cities. Magic of the history. Only you can find out about the art of Iran by seeing this city. We must see Isfahan. It's better to say that you can't hear or read about Isfahan. You must see it.